Ian Mack, Leprechaun Lass. And it's buck jumping around was Biddy's Best, settles better. Leprechaun Lass, Ian Mack stands well. Leela Bell moving towards its mark with Malibu Magic. Oh, Biddy's Best up in the air again. Fractious. Wedgwood Hanover again backs away on the 10-metre mark. Now gear adjustment being made to Biddy's Best. Leela Bell and Malibu Magic stand well. It looks as though there's some broken gear there on Biddy's Best, so there'll be a slight delay before the running of the first event, the 2-year-old Pacers First Division. Now it moves up better. Looks a pretty good line. It's the best they'll get them, and they're often racing in the first here at Traralgon this afternoon. And galloping away was Craftiness. Ian Mack paced away cleanly, and Ian Mack will be the early leader from Malibu Magic down the outside, hunting for the inside run there, Leprechaun Lass. And they sort themselves out and go past the judge with 2 laps to go. And up on the outside, Malibu Magic, and on the inside, it's Ian Mack as they work to the back. And working into the back on the first occasion, Ian Mack being joined the outside by Malibu Magic, Leprechaun Lass settling on the rails in 3rd placing. Then came Leela Bell. Further back then was Wedgwood Hanover. Dropping out to second last, Biddy's Best. And 20 metres away last of all was Craftiness. They worked down the back on the first occasion. This driver slowing them up a bit on Ian Mack. And he leads by a sulky's length the outside Malibu Magic. Then came back on the inside was Leprechaun Lass. Further back then was Leela Bell. Further afield then came on the inside Wedgwood Hanover. They're followed by the outside Biddy's Best, and still 15 metres away last of all was Craftiness. They work off the back, just over a lap to go, and the leader is Ian Mack still, has done nothing wrong. On the outside, Malibu Magic's had the harder of the 2 runs. Then came Leprechaun Lass on the inside. The 1-by-1 enjoyed by Leela Bell. Further back came Wedgwood Hanover. Then Biddy's Best, and last of all was Craftiness. A lap to go, the bell sounding. They'll head to the back this time. Short of a lap to go now, and Ian Mack is the leader still, with Malibu Magic the outside. Leprechaun Lass back on the inside. They're followed by in the running line Leela Bell. From back on the rails, Wedgwood Hanover. They're followed by Craftiness. Second last, Biddy's Best. And getting up along the inside there is Craftiness working up along the inside. Ian Mack is still the leader down the back. Down the back straight on the last occasion, Ian Mack being joined now on the outside by Malibu Magic moving up stylishly. Then came Leprechaun Lass. Further back then was Wedgwood Hanover. Then came on the outside Craftiness commencing a run. Further back then came Biddy's Best. And under the whip last of all, 50 metres away was Leela Bell. They swing off the back and into the home straight, and it's Ian Mack still the leader. Malibu Magic trying hard the outside. Then came Leprechaun Lass, and further back then was Craftiness. It's still Ian Mack in front halfway up the straight. Malibu Magic's gradually getting to it, and down the outside late Craftiness. It's still Ian Mack in front, trying hard Malibu Magic. Ian Mack. Ian Mack's won the first from Malibu Magic. 3rd placing would have gone to Leprechaun Lass. Front there of Craftiness. Then came Wedgwood Hanover. Further back then was Biddy's Best, and last in Leela Bell. Stand by for the placings on the first event. Race number 1, Traralgon. Little or no doubt, number 1, Ian Mack held on to win this one. From those there for the placings, Malibu Magic, and also prominent was Leprechaun Lass from memory. We'll wait on the judges' numbers official after the running of the first event here at Traralgon this afternoon. Perfect day for harness racing now with the sun coming out. Weather conditions very pleasant indeed. Placings official on the first, 1, 6 and 2. Ian Mack, G Senior the winner. Malibu Magic, driven by Bruce Barron, was second, and third to Leprechaun Lass in Henderson. Placings 1, 6 and 2, officially 4th. Number 3, Craftiness, and 5th, Wedgwood Hanover. Number 7, The winning margin, 1.5 metres. 1.5 metres also between second and third. 4 metres between third and fourth. Standing by for the times to come through. And once again they're brought up. Looks a pretty good line, and they're often racing this time. Billy's Runner stood there and refused to go at first and galloped away. Galloping away also was Marlady's Gift, and out the back as well, Robert Fernando. Settling down into stride, and Hilda's Shadow takes the lead with 2 laps to go from Arthur Dunger. Up along the inside, Billy's Runner now goes to third from out wider Oriental Lord. Further back then is Buyer Bird as they work to the back. They're followed by Robert Fernando, and dropping out to last of all is Marlady's Gift. Lap and 3/4 to go as they head into the back, and Hilda's Shadow the leader. The second one there is Arthur Dunger. Then came further back was Billy's Runner. Further back then Oriental Lord from Buyer Bird, Robert Fernando, and last of all Marlady's Gift. They're in Indian file as they work down the back, and the leader still is Hilda's Shadow by a sulky's length or more over Arthur Dunger in second placing. Then came Billy's Runner. Here's one off around the outside, Buyer Bird. Further back then Oriental Lord going into a gallop, being passed by Robert Fernando, and also being passed now by Marlady's Gift. They swing to the top circle. They've got just over a lap to go. The bell will sound this time as they come down the straight, and Hilda's Shadow it is the leader by about a sulky's length now over Buyer Bird the outside. Then came Arthur Dunger back on the inside. Robert Fernando's out in the running line from further back Billy Runner. Second last is Marlady's Gift, and last of all is Oriental Lord. They work to the back now, about 800 metres out in the second, and Hilda's Shadow's done nothing wrong up front. Still leads by 4 metres over Arthur Dunger in second placing. Moving around the outside there, Buyer Bird from Billy's Runner locked up along the inside. Then came Robert Fernando. Further back then was Marlady's Gift, and galloping once again in last placing is Oriental Lord. They work down the back, midway between the far turns on the last occasion, and Hilda's Shadow being joined the outside now, moving up stylishly Buyer Bird. Then came Arthur Dunger, it is rather, and Arthur Dunger stuck its neck out in front of Hilda's Shadow as they come off the back. They're well clear from the rest, headed up by Buyer Bird. Then came Robert Fernando. A long gap back, then came Marlady's Gift, Billy Runner, and last of all Oriental Lord. These two work for home. It's Hilda's Shadow once again getting out in front by a length over in second placing Arthur Dunger. They're followed by Robert Fernando, but in the run home Hilda's Shadow's too good and scores by 5 metres. Second placing Arthur Dunger. 15 metres away third came Robert Fernando. Further back then in the field was Buyer Bird. Then came Billy's Runner. Further back Marlady's Gift, and last in was Oriental Lord. Stand by for the placings on the second event. You'll find number 2, Hilda's Shadow, will be the winner. Second placing will go to 7, Arthur Dunger. And third there, I think we may have placed number 6, Robert Fernando. We'll just wait on the judge official. But they should be 2, 7 and 6. That's the way I saw them after the running of the second event on the program. To Shadow, officially, driven by Jane Davies. Second placing to 7, Arthur Dunger, driven by Lee Kirby. And third to 6, Robert Fernando, G. Turner. Placings official 2, 7 and 6. Race number 2. Officially fourth, number 5, Buyer Bird. And fifth to 1, Billy's Runner. 2, 7, 6. Race number 2 here at Traralgon. Just about set for a start. They all look to be pacing cleanly. Ready, the green light comes off, and they're away and pacing in the third event at Traralgon, and showing pace from the barriers was Rival Star, who'll be the early leader from Bo Victor. Working up 3 wide early, How's That Lady? From back on the inside, Star Approach. Then came Best Way, Mojito Boy. Further back then was Silver Strata. Getting well back in it as they worked to the back was 10 Black. And galloping there in last placing was Miss Ensign. They worked to the back straight on the first occasion, and it's Rival Star the leader by 3 or 4 metres over in second placing Bo Victor. Third on the rails came Star Approach, leading the outside division How's That Lady from Best Way back on the inside. Then came the outside was Mojito Boy. Further back then came 10 Black from Silver Strata, and tailed off last of all was Miss Ensign. They worked to the top circle, just over a lap and a half to go, and the leader still still is Rival Star. Doing it nicely up front from How's That Lady, moving close to the outside. Here's 110 Black whipping around them 3 wide. From back in the centre then came Mojito Boy. Further back on the rails was Bo Victor as they worked down with a lap to go. Further back then was Silver Strata from Star Approach. Then came well back in it was Best Way. And still last of all Miss Ensign. Past the judge with a lap to go. Rival Star the inside. Being joined now by How's That Lady and 10 Black 3 wide. Then came Mojito Boy. Further back then on the inside Bo Victor as they worked to the back on the final occasion. Then came Star Approach on the inside from Silver Strata. Further back then Best Way and Forget All About Miss Ensign. They worked to the back on the final occasion and it's Rival Star the leader by a neck only on How's That Lady the outside. Then came further back the inside Bo Victor with nowhere to go at the moment, being covered up by Mojito Boy. Further back then was Star Approach going backwards at the moment, Mojito Boy. Then came further back on the inside was Silver Strata and Best Way back with it also. They work off the back. Rival Star it is the leader by a metre, about a metre only on the outside. How's That Lady is under the whip. Then came further back Mojito Boy and back on the inside Bo Victor. They work for home. It's still Rival Star in front. Getting up along the inside Bo Victor. There's no room there though. And then came down the outside How's That Lady still in front. Rival Star though, and Rival Star wins by 3 metres on the line. Second How's That Lady. Third went to Bo Victor. They're followed by Star Approach. Further out on the track then was Mojito Boy. Further back then came Silver Strata. Then came Best Way. Further back then was 10 Black. And just coming in now, Miss Ensign. Stand by for the placings on the third event on the program. Almost all the way win there to number 3 Rival Star. Just wait on them official. You'll find number 3 Rival Star will be the winner. We'll just wait on the judges' numbers official after the running of the third event on the program. 3 Rival Star driven by Leonie Collins the winner. Second to 7 How's That Lady, Bruce Barron. And third to number 4 Bo Victor, Graham Wilson. Placings 3, 7, 4. The moment behind